Hello everyone, my name is Małgorzata Wyczańska. I'm a UX researcher at CitiHandlowy. And today I'm going to talk about the huge project that we launched last February. It's a new e-banking platform. And I will tell you what's the UX role involved in this project. The interesting thing is that the first agile project in our bank. So a few words about the project itself. A new electronic banking platform that is to be released to the customers next year. Poland is the first country, first market when where this platform is developed. Probably it will be available on other markets in upcoming years. It's also our first fully responsive web design platform, which for me as a UX researcher means that I need to do even more research because we need to test it on different devices. The assumption is that we change not only the front end but also the back end, the back office processes. We want to make them end-to-end online and also automate them at the back end. We are adding some brand new models to our current online banking website, which is quite an obsolete one, and we really need to change it right now. And there will be a new look and feel. The design guides are, as in each corporation, very well defined, but we also have a team of UX designers who designed the web system, the pre-login side and the post-login side. A few numbers about the project. The project is developed in 4 countries. Poland is the headquarters, the business owners and the UX research is located in Warsaw. We also have Scrum teams in Singapore, India and China. Altogether, we are planning more or less 45 sprints, and every 5 to 7 sprints we have a new release. So far we had 2 releases. These are internal releases to our employees that are also our customers, and they are testing the platform. I will show you more in details how it's organized. And so far it's our second release. After the 4th release will be to the external world. We tested so far, we involved 900 customers, testers already. And as I said, it's the first agile project of such scale. It's at Citi and certainly at Bank Handlowy. Okay. At the beginning, we all wanted to do agile because we knew that waterfall approach won't bring anything new to this project, and we really wanted to do it in a different way. But it was chaos. It was really, everyone was going in some different direction. We were supposed to plan long ahead, but to be agile at the same time. Me as a UX researcher, I was supposed to prepare a huge plan of the research budget, not even knowing what the outcome of the UX designers will be. So it was quite difficult at the beginning. And the problems we encountered, I would divide them into 3 categories. First category that occurred at the very beginning of the project was the quality, well, actually the low quality of the user stories. They were written from the banker's perspective, and the bankers really, trust me, they're quite biased. They think that everyone loves banking and this is our favorite activity. And we didn't have enough skills to write good user stories, and especially the acceptance criteria that were crucial. Another thing that was painful, especially to me, was approach to testing. Actually, what to test? There was no prototypes, no mock-ups. I couldn't foresee anything. So I needed really to adapt and be super agile. And after, finally, another group of problems was implementation of the feedback. Since the pace of the project was very high, my feedback, if I did normal, regular user research, it would be delivered after 2 or 3 weeks from, for example, preparation of the prototype, which obviously is too late. And no one would listen to my suggestions, to the feedback that I deliver. And we also had quite a lot of tensions between UX designers who are located in Singapore and UX researchers here in Poland. Okay, so how we approached the problems. As for the user stories, we started the huge group of bankers went to Singapore to equipped with loads of post-it cards, and we started writing user stories. Of course, it was our own well-known company, but it turned out that we were actually as a poet who was writing poems, not knowing actually what the external world is about. So we needed to make a step back and ask ourselves two important questions. Who are we designing the system for, and how actually these people bank, how they use bank, what's the role of the bank in their life? Of course, the bank really needs to know its customers, so we have customer segments, we know how they use banking websites, etc., but we need to dig much deeper and collect much more data. These are our three main customer profiles that are our target group of the online services. So we collected loads of data about their transactions, about how often and on what purpose they log into the mobile application online platform. But we also collected loads of data about households, about technology trends, about the devices that our customers are using, the products that they have, etc. So out of this big number of data, we described three personas. First persona is very typical for our bank. It's a wealthy person, Adam, who is investing money, and here we have the quotations from the research, because we did not only collected loads of data, but then we went out from the bank and we invited the people of this profile to take part in the study. First of all, we joined them and we spent a day with each type of our customer, and then we invited them to the laboratory so that they show us how they bank, how they log to the system, what transactions do they do, how they do it, etc. So these are the quotations from the interview with Adam. And actually that it turned out that the bank for that guy is a tool to grow his wealth. And he wants to see all his products, sometimes very sophisticated ones, online, but still he needs an online access, well, the quick access to his personal advisor, who, for example, recommends him to buy some stocks or to sell some stock or to invest somewhere else. Well, they need a frequent and very quick contact. Another type of customer is Alice. This is a young lady in her 30s, who is, her main financial product is a credit card. She uses it extensively, so that sometimes she loses control over her budget, and she wants the bank to help her to manage her money, make some savings, and she actually logs into the banking website only so to check her balance, to know how much she can spend, when's the due date for the credit card, but she doesn't need many sophisticated information. And finally, we have a guy called Robert. This is a guy who has a family, who earns quite a lot, but also has some credits. First of all, he needs the bank to remind him about all his obligations, especially financial ones. But also, this is a person who is not only tech savvy, but also wants to save his time because he's busy. So all solutions that enable him to save money, do something on his behalf, fill in the transfer forms, that is more than welcome for him. Okay, so we knew our personas, we knew our customers, and this is the prescription, I would say, for the good user stories. Not only data-driven personas, but also training, well-defined business goals, and multidisciplinary team, including people who work in branches, in frontline, on city phone, knowing the customer from different angles. Okay, another topic is what to test. As I said, we had no prototypes. I only had some static mock-ups that didn't show the actual flows. Obviously, there were no real data on these mockups, on the prototypes, and I didn't have access to any other developer environment. So what we did? Actually, we decided to iterate a lot and to test a lot. This is a scheme of a sprint. So our approach is that we do several tests within each sprint. We test the design, we test the UAT, well, the test environment with the customers before the release, and we collect feedback after the release. So all that, and also a good research machinery, is something that I need to do it in an efficient way and to be able to squeeze it into 2 weeks of the sprint. So what I need to have are research tools. Obviously the online surveys, the individual interviews, but also I need a good database of testers. In this case, I invite only employees, but I have employees from different cities, different specializations, different areas, so that they are not like hardcore bankers, but little less biased people. So I have them on standby. They only know that I will call them, and the following day they are ready to take part in the tests. And actually, the most important thing is a good cooperation with the designers and with the developers. So, at first, what we focus on is design. A design team delivers me screens, and I run very fast tests with our staff, individual tests, in order just to know what are the pain points of the design that they deliver. This is an example of the report. I don't write any elaborates, I just deliver that kind of information to the designers. Next step is working on flows. So we have the RWD version, it's working, and we invite customers to the external lab. These are real customers that we recruit based on our personas. So we talk to Adams, Alices, and Roberts and test the system with them. The only pain here is that we use fake, completely meaningless data. Here we have examples that, for example, there are no transaction history, that some features are just marked that they're upcoming, and so it's really hard for a user to imagine that it's about their money, about real transactions, etc. So in this case, we test flows. And finally, when it's released to the customers, we can really check the real banking experience. Of course, it's a hybrid so far. It's a hybrid of an old system with new features, new screens, new header and footer, but still it gives some taste, some flavor of the new experience that we will be delivering. So voila, my account with my my real money, and so we test the system on real data, real customers, and again I run surveys and I run individual interviews, and we also have an online community where we discuss the experience of using this real banking website. And here we have the screen of the online survey that we are running currently. Okay, the last problem is the feedback implementation. The biggest issue was that it's too late, just get lost with your feedback. We are the UX designers, we know what are the trends. So it took us some time to convince the designers that the feedback is really reliable. This was really the opinions of the customers and then not mine. So now we treat the feedback as a source of new user stories and a source of errors that we are tracking and fixing. We also made use of project flexibility, and this is why I am in favor of Agile. We just added some sprints that are designed especially for including the feedback into the project. So we have some special feedback sprints. And of course you have to be persistent and really insist on including customers' feedback into the system. So finally, we come up with some solutions to the problems. The quality of user stories was really increased. They are much better defined. We know how to write them, and we base them on the true knowledge of the customer and not on our imagination. The approach to testing, as you saw, we managed to squeeze it within the sprint, which was quite a challenge. And now we are especially focusing on feedbacks implementation and tracking the errors and making it work and making also users see that their feedback is included. So now it's not more chaos, it works more or less this way. Thanks.